What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Anik, I'm a classical pianist, and today I'm going to share 3 of my basic tips and tricks about how to find a good fingering. I've already done a video about the natural sound of our fingers because every single finger is creating a different sound naturally at the piano. If you're interested in this video, you'll find it up here. Now, before you get started, I just have to say, and I hope this is obvious, everyone has different hands, different interpretations, and every piece is different, so everyone has to find his or her own fingering. So even if, I'm going to show some examples afterwards, and if you're playing the same pieces like me, these are just my fingerings, and they fit my playing, my hands, and my interpretation. But of course, you can use other fingerings. And also, I mean, this topic is so big. Fingerings are one of the most important things when it comes to playing piano, together with breathing and posture. So 10 minutes won't be enough to explain everything. I mean, it would need days, weeks, years to explain everything that's detailed, but I think that wouldn't be enough time either. So today I'm just going to share 3 basic tips and tricks, and I hope I can help you with that. Before we get started, don't forget to like this video and hit the subscribe button. Now, the very first tip that I have for you is to play in the heart of the key. Now, everyone who's new here on this channel, and I know that there are many, the heart of the key is the part of the key where you have most of control over the sound you're going to create, which is in the front part of the key, like here. And on the black keys as well. I mean, this is just physics. So as long as you stay in the heart of the key, you'll have most of control over the sound. Sometimes it's just not possible to stay in the heart of the key because it's just not possible, but most of the time it is. If your fingering does not let you play in the heart of the key, then you should definitely change your fingering. Let me show you some examples. So basically here is the heart of the key. On the black keys it's here. So the end part of the key where you have most of control over the sound you're going to create. And this counts for every key. Also for the black keys, of course. The more you play in the inner part of the key, the less control you'll have. You can just test this on your own instrument and you'll feel the difference. How hard it becomes to push down the keys the more you play in the inner part. So again, this part is the part where you want to stay most of the time, or best case all the time. So the normal fingering for this part would be something like that. But you can see that if I use this fingering, I'm playing this third and second finger in the middle part of the key. Now the fingering that will give you the possibility to play in the heart of the key and to get more control over everything is 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, and so on. This will also force your wrist and your elbow to move with the music, while the other fingering was nearly no movement here. The second tip for you is if we divide the keyboard into 3 sections, like the descant, I don't know how it's called in English. Do you know what it's called in English? Is descant correct? Put in the comments, the higher notes here, the right side of the keyboard, then the middle section, which is directly in front of your body, and the deeper notes, the bass notes, bass region. Never mind. So the left side of your keyboard. Now, when you're playing in the middle part of the keyboard and you're using, for example, the first finger, it will cause that your elbow gets into your way, into your body. And this is not what you want to have, because this way you can't really have a lot of control over what you're doing there. Now there are 2 ways to fix this problem. The first thing is like you can actually move your body parallel to the keys, still stay straight with your back and so on, and you will have a little bit more freedom even if you're using the first finger. The other solution, and what I think is much better, because I mean, like, we also have to use our left hand, so even if we are moving our body to the left, we'll get into the way of our left hand then. So the other solution is to use a different fingering. Now, instead of using the first finger, for example, you can use the second finger, and immediately you can see how my elbow turns to the outside, and this will give me like much more control and freedom in my playing. Let me just show you some examples here as well. So my student was using 1, 4, 1, 2, 5, which is not a bad fingering. But as you can see, this part starts like in the middle of my body, like directly in front of my body. This will cause that my elbow gets into my way if I start with the first finger, which would look like this. And you can see how my elbow is here getting in my way. Now, if I would use the second finger instead of the first finger, I have suddenly much more freedom and control over everything that I have to do there. So if I use like 2, 5, 1, 2, 5, it's easier to play here, like instead of this is like no control, a lot of control. No freedom, a lot of freedom. Now, tip number 3 is one of my favorites, and it has something to do with both tips that I just shared with you. It is about playing chords with 3 notes. So especially if I'm talking about my right hand right now, if you're playing 3 notes like this, 1, 2, and 5, and the first finger has to be on a black key, then you'll have to do something like that. And your second finger is, I mean, like, way longer than my first finger. So, and I think normally a second finger is longer than your thumb. So the second finger will automatically play more in the inner part of the key and not in the heart of the key. But Robert Schumann said that if you want to balance a chord, then you need to focus on the middle voices. Now, if the middle voice has so less control because of the position on the key, then we should change it, right? So there's a very easy trick, and it blew my mind when I first did this. So you actually just have to switch both of them. So your second finger is on the black key, and this first finger is on a white key. So the first finger is playing automatically in the heart of the key because of its length. And the position of the elbow is changing, obviously. So again, you have much more weight and control with your elbow here. And this will really create a stable hand if you're using this first finger to stabilize the hand here. Now, this was the video for today. I'm interested, have you heard of these tips before? Are you maybe also using them? Are you actually thinking about fingerings that much? Put it in the comments down below. That would be really interesting for me to know. We'll see us in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell. See you then. Bye.